Hi everybody, it's Deanna with toolsofenergyprotection.com. How's everybody doing? This is take two. I tried it a little bit earlier, but it seemed like the live came on, but nobody could hear me. That's the dark side. So anyways, I'm back again. I'm going to give a chance for everybody to pop back on. It was really kind of upsetting to me that not everybody could hear. But, you know, things happen and things change. And so I'm going to just wait a few minutes, give everybody a chance to populate and get back on and see what happened. And let's see here. A lot of crazy things happened. All right, so we are going to, looks like we had one share before, and hopefully all 54 of you will jump back on with me. Looks like people are starting to get back on. Yep, okay, Jessica says she can hear me now. Hello again, Belen. Yeah, I'm glad. Okay, so I'm hoping everybody, I'm going to send the signal out, beep, beep, beep. Because it's some juicy stuff that we got going on tonight. Let's see here. So for whatever reason, the other one wasn't happening. Like I said, probably the dark side. But, so it is. And today is July 20th, 2021. All right, I'm going to tune myself back in here where I can see you all on my monitor. All right. All right, so it looks like now I got the sound up too loud and I can hear it. Okay, so it looks like everybody's back on again. Tammy, can you hear better now? If you give me a little thumbs up, let me know that you can hear much better now. Okay, I hope the other folks join us back again. Welcome aboard, everybody. We're doing a little sound check. So I took my headphones away, going through the main speaker system now to see if that works any better. Okay, great. Yeah, thanks, Tammy. All right, everybody. Hello. So, there are many things to cover tonight. It is July 20th, 2021. A lot of things to touch on. So, what I have put over here in the description is that, and thank you everybody that came back. I really super appreciate everybody who's coming back. And share the video if you find it to be of service. So, shift happens, the new state of things to come. And I got a little teary-eyed earlier, and oh good, Ron says it's better. Okay, good. And I kind of had some teary-eyed because where we are right now in the history of this planet, in the history of this world, is quite huge. And so I'm going to tell you what's happening, and I'm going to also explain to you what it looks like from my guide's point of view, what they tell me. And then I'm going to share with you some ways that you can start getting yourself tuned in, because the time is coming very quickly now when you will have to know what is real and what isn't, what is truth and what is not truth, or how much truth is really there. And so that, good, you're welcome, Carol. And so that is just a huge dynamic. So give me a second to get centered. Good. Ooh, that's much better. Thank you. Okay. So what my guides were telling me is that they were joking with me earlier when I was going to describe to you all what it looks like now, where we are. Why did I put in the feed the new state of things to come? And this is the end of the phase 1 of the first up level. And so they were talking to me about the game Jumanji, which is kind of funny in a way, because Jumanji, I watched it recently. I thought it'd be kind of exciting, and it was. But Jumanji is about a bunch of physical people that get sucked into a game. And this particular one I watched, it was a video game. So they all have avatars that don't really look like who they are, and they have to work through this game with 3 little marks on them for a lifetime. And so as they begin to lose lives, they begin to understand how important all the members are, and all the members are contributing to this game at this time. And then they're able to come back. And that's the way things are for us. We are human beings, which means that we are a soul, a divine aspect of the creator source of all, living in physical bodies. The physical body, the 3D world you see right now, that's Jumanji. And it's not until we live our life, learn things in this game of life. I like to call it a game, but that's what it is. An exercise of life, a learning center, earth school, whatever. The important thing is that you are a spiritual divine being in a physical body, and you are learning and you are growing. And when the two planets came together, the malefic and the benefic, and they went clink, that started officially, from what I'm understanding, the age of Aquarius. And the age of Aquarius is basically Jumanji. These are our avatars, and how we move through time and space will depend on how we perceive the world. So, for those of you that feel things in your hearts, they feel things. Perhaps you hear the high-pitched whine in your ears. Perhaps it's a pressure. Perhaps you just know things, or you're seeing things. And you're like, oh, that doesn't look right to me. Those are your sensitivities. And those are your divine right. And it is time for you to tune them in. And about 20 years ago, I can't believe that, is when Spirit started working with me to train you all, to train as many of you as I could. So I had a few classes, trained a lot of people, had a lot of fun, like, woohoo, little chicks, there you go, back into the world. And then another wave came of students. And I thought, oh, okay, I did that, what's next? And it's just been wave after wave after wave of beautiful light workers, star seeds. One gal said to me the other day, I don't even know where to get started, and people were trying to give her a lot of advice. That really is up to her. But for those of you that are just coming on board, you're going to have to up-level faster. And what does that mean? Well, there's going to come a time soon when in your body, your mind, your abilities, that's the only way you're going to know how to get out of Jumanji. That's the only way that you're going to know how to get to the next level of this game. So I implore you, if you're at all highly sensitive or empathic or a star seed or just waking up, or you know somebody who is, and they feel weirded out, they feel like, okay, I'm aware of things, but I don't know what to do with it all, and it feels weird, and I don't like it, probably because they were taught to think with their minds. And this recent period where people were locked down all around the globe at the same time, all human beings have a consciousness, and the consciousness feeds into the collective, and the collective is all of the beings on this, human beings on this planet. And everybody's thoughts, feelings, and emotions travel into it, and it's collective, and we all tune into it. And that's what's going on. So some of you have been feeling really odd, disconnected, like God's Spirit Source doesn't care about you or isn't talking to you, and you couldn't be further from the truth. But there is energy that is going on that's attempting to keep us in our heads, disconnected from our body. And our physical body is what allows our spiritual self to be in this space and time where the greatest lessons, the greatest understanding is happening. And so many souls tried to rush into this planet and get here before, I think it's 2008. And what you're going to notice is the amount of people, the amount of souls being born into this planet are going to decrease over the next number of years. So those of us that are here now, we're the ones that have the ability to balance back out the planet. Whether you're doing it publicly, behind closed doors, in a group, doesn't matter. What matters is that it is time for you to take control of your own life, your own heart, your own feelings, your own emotions. Because when we had that big pause around the world for a year, so many people are used to moving, 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 moving. How many people do you know that just move all day long until they drop so they can avoid feeling emotion, energy in motion? And they just block everything out. And they just do their daily life, and that's it, because they want to do it as much as they can. That way they don't have to deal with energy that's been suppressed. So, your heart, your mind, you're a beautiful soul. You come into this planet as a starseed, an empath, highly sensitive person. And a lot of us were beaten down by telling us, no, you can't pick money off trees. Well, guess what? If you're aligned with the creator source of all, and you do the work in the physical body, you can pull money literally off trees. You will be showered in it. But you got to get yourself in the right spot. And you've got to take action. That's part of being in the human body. You can sit there and think all day long. But if you don't take action, you can't put energy in motion into motion. And so many people I know just pontificate all day long. And they worry. And they're like, worry, 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 grind, 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 worry, worry, worry. Well, that's not getting you anywhere. And that's the point of shift happens. I almost said the poo-poo. But shift happens. And there's a new state of things coming. So from the time we were in lockdown, stay in place, and people had to focus on themselves, which was really hard because they were used to going and blowing all the time, their inner compass went woo, 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 right? And then, okay, well, you can get back out again. And so everybody's like, woohoo, the way things are going to go back to the way they were. No, that's not happening. It won't happen because of what we've been through. But things can up level. Things can turn into a direction where you can live a happier, healthier life no matter what you see around you. You can live that happier, healthy life. And this is the end of the phase. We've got about 5 more days to the end of this first phase of how much did you up level? Did you ignore your gifts? Did you even know you had them? Did you suppress them, push them away? Are you in fear? Or are you not doing something because you're afraid to move forward? Ask yourself that question. This coming up September, a couple months, I'm going to start the Spiritual Awakening Academy back up again. This time, I'm going to hit it hard. You all will meet with me, and you'll be trained, and then you'll get a chance to go practice the training, and then you're going to come back. And it's going to be a solid academy, no excuses. And it's going to be a little bit like going to a regular academy where you come in, you exercise, you eat right, and do what you're told, kind of thing. But this is my way of bringing together sensitives to strengthen them so they can understand who they are, what abilities they have, and what purpose that they're fulfilling right now in this world. That's what I was talking about. And apparently the dark side didn't want you to hear it. Because I've never had trouble with my headphones before, so who knows? Maybe something got upgraded. I don't know how to fix it. It could be that too. But this is the end in about 5 more days of the first phase. So what's that going to look like? I'm going to talk about relationships. And relationships are what can hold you back from going to the next phase, or they can join you into going into the next phase. So, how does that work? Well, when I say relationships, it means a lot of different things. But I'm going to talk people for the present moment. So, have you ever heard the saying that the tide raises all boats? So, if the ocean water rises, all boats rise too. You ever heard of that? Well, people that are understanding that there is a process of learning, a process of accepting, and getting ready to up level so that you're connected into that divinity so you know what to do going forward. So when your guides say go here, you go there. You know, in the Bible, there's so many times when people were told to do things. You know, like Moses, it's like the water parted and he was like, go across this way. You know, and he did on faith. I mean, I can't imagine two big, you know, pillars basically that's just water. I mean, I've walked through, what is it, SeaWorld or something where they've got a little tube for you to walk through and everybody's swimming all around you. But can you imagine being up close and personal and water opens and you got to cross it? Now, I wasn't there, so I don't know if the water was this high or this high, but I imagine it was quite high. And the human mind will fear, well, what if I go into this water? What if I go in between this water? And all of a sudden, poof, I'm gone. Because if that much water comes together, you are literally gone. But think about your life right now. Who are you in relationship with that is raining on your parade? Who are you in relationship with that isn't matching your energy? Who is that? Because point blank, if you're in relationship with another person and they are energetically tied to you somehow, when you go to raise to the next level, they're going to pull you back because their energy doesn't match now. And if it doesn't match now, it's not going to match later. So there's going to be some severing of ties with different people. Major big ties with people. Mostly what I'm hearing my guides say is it's about energy draining. So, you know, let's say you know, pendulum. Let's say you've got this person who is just pulling at you and doing nothing but draining your energy all the time. Then if you're going to go up to the next big level and that tide comes to raise all boats and you go up, this person's not going to be able to come up with you because they're simply not at that level because they just want to suck. And if you allow them to continue to suck and drain your energy, you won't have what it takes to get to the next level either. And the most beautiful thing that I've heard today is that it's not up to you to choose these people out and go, oop, bye. It's up to them. Please hear me. It is not up to you to, to cut the energy draining people off. Poof. It is up to them. And they will show themselves by something that comes out of their mouth, by some sort of an action that's taken. And you will know who it is that's moving away from you. Who is it that's not going to rise up with you? Now, some of them may feel like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. I'm just not sure. Well, as long as they're not draining your energy and you can put them to the side so that they're standing by themselves, but still with you, but not plugged into you, that's fine. Because you can give them love. You can give them nurture. But they have to do it for themselves. Please share some love with me by putting a thumbs up or a heart if this is resonating with you. Are you at this frequency? Are you understand? Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts and thumbs up. So again, in the past, we have been asked to cut energy draining people off of our out of our lives, to sever the ties, to put up shields or boundaries. Boundaries is a wonderful thing. And so we did it, or maybe we didn't do it, and it didn't work. And we were able to get to the level we are now. And that's great. But it's going to take every ounce of energy you have at the next level. Myself, one of the wonderful things COVID did, and a little bit before that, I got this alien baby down here that I'm waiting for it to hatch. Not really, for those of you that are into aliens. But I've been on some extra weight. Nervous eating, right? And not eating properly. Not taking care of my physical body. So in order for you to be grounded in this world and handle these energy shifts, you've got to eat better and take better care of the body. I'm working in that direction. I wish it could happen like that, but you know how the human body is. So there's other things that I'm going to share tomorrow night with my inner circle group. But basically, if you can get started on that, if you can allow those people to unplug themselves from your energy, from draining your energy, they will. And they will show themselves by something they say, something they do, some way that they act. And those people in our lives have been given that opportunity to choose. Are they going to detach? Are they totally going to go away and live this way of life they've been living that's full of anxiety, fear, depression, phobia, all that unsurety, doubt? Or are they going to unplug themselves but still be in your life or near you and choose to walk beside you the best they can and still be in community with you? Because then you can be the greatest light. And this will happen for a while. After we make this shift and it wraps up in the next 5 days, people will make a decision and they'll show it to you. So you don't have to feel bad about cutting anybody off. And then you will walk forward with the people that are left near you that want to be in community with you, but may not be on the same path, but they won't be draining you. And that is the shift that's happening now. And that will start the new state of things. And the new state of things is beginning to understand who you are, where you are in time and space, and knowing that you're a beautiful gift of divine love and connection to both spirit and your physical body and Mother Earth is what's going to take you through what's coming next. There is such a beautiful energy that's here right now and available. All you do is open up and let it in. That's it. It really is that simple. Once you let that new level of energy fill you up and you begin to move forward in your life, you'll feel it, but it's taking little tiny baby steps. And these people around you that may not understand, if they take little tiny steps, then they're going to be doing better too. It's like drinking more water. Today I didn't get enough water. I'm always telling you I'll drink more water. So, bringing something to work that you can measure how much you're drinking. And every day that you make whatever your ideal target amount is, put a tick mark on the calendar and see how many days in a row you can do it. But do research that and find out, because if you're only drinking a cup of water a day, you might could increase it to 2 or 3 cups, but whatever your ideal target is, you may not be able to get there right away. Like I said, the human body is a little slow. So again, if this message is of any service to you, please share it. Please share the video so that other people that are hearing the high-pitched whine, feeling the pressure in the ears, feeling like, what the heck? My guides are reminding me of the old school movie, The Matrix. The guy is in the 3D world and they give him a pill to choose and he chooses the one to see how far the rabbit hole goes. And if I remember correctly, they unplug him from some big vat of water or gooey stuff and he goes, wee, you know. That's where we are. We're being unplugged, lit up. So, I'd like to share with you a couple of things, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards and read them because I know you all like that. And I'm a little bit dragging tonight. It's a lot to process, and so many things that I've seen coming in our future of this planet. What's coming next? What's coming after that? And it's huge. Please have no fear. It's all going to unfold as it should. But I'm asking you to go into that state of beingness with your eyes wide open. Okay, so this coming up Thursday at For Heaven's Sakes Books, I will be there doing one-to-one Akashic record clearings, energy clearings. If you want to talk more about this, if you need understanding, if you feel like you're cut off from your guidance, or you don't understand what you're doing here, or you want to find out why your love life isn't working, or how come your money isn't coming abundantly. You're like, hey, I can't seem to pull it in. That would be the time to go to toolsofenergyprotection.com and click on events. And you can scroll down there, all the information to the bookstore. Get a hold of them, get on the schedule. Friday is Discount Friday, so it's Fair Friday. The bookstore sells a lot of different things, and they have different specials and whatnot going on. So if you want to get onto that schedule, if you need a little break, go to toolsofenergyprotection.com, click on events, and scroll down, and you will find the link to get booked for the fair, which is a discount on normal session times. Because I know some people are telling me they need discounts. But the session times on Friday that are discounted, let's see, by about 21 bucks. They fill up so fast. If you want to schedule time between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time in the morning when the store is open, call, or you can go to their website and you can book online, but it's more efficient if you call them. So then Friday night, I'm going to be offering a class that's going to help in the same lines I've been talking about today. So if you're going, I don't feel grounded, I don't feel centered, I feel discombobulated, I feel like I have postpartum. Oh, that's what this world's going to feel like. Post-traumatic stress disorder. A lot of you are still having that feeling or that emotion of post-traumatic stress disorder from all this lockdown and having to look on the inside and all that. What I'm going to recommend is that you strengthen your energy field, your auric energy field, for those of you that know what it is, by enhancing it through something that God gave us, which is the earth, which is the planet that we walk on. And the earth is full of all kinds of beautiful stones and minerals and plants and everything else. And if we know how to utilize what's been given to us in divine nature, then we can help ourselves that way. So here is a little bit of rhodonite. Okay? So rhodonite decreases vulnerability to other people's negativity. So on the one hand, I'd like for people to become more vulnerable because you're more expressing your emotions and your feelings and have safer boundaries. That's how to do it. But if you got other people's negativity rolling around in there, this would help you to expel it while you work on yourself. So that's rhodonite. And so this coming up Friday, because today is July the 20th, 2021, so this coming up Friday, at the bookstore from 7 to 9 p.m., I'm going to be teaching you how to know which stones belong in your energy field. It's a really cool technique, doesn't take very long to learn, and then we're going to have a hands-on where you can take different stones and put them in your energy field, and does it make you feel better or worse or not balanced? It's really fun. It's a hands-on kind of thing. So it's important that you get registered. They did limit the number of seats because we're still trying to keep safe distance from each other and all that. So if you're into that, want to check into that, then do. This particular class is not being offered on Zoom, so it's an in-person, lovey-huggy, touchy-feely kind of thing, although there will be no hugs. Maybe like this. So get registered for that if that's something that interests you. And then I told you all that coming up in August was the dowsing class. So a lot of you want to learn how to use a pendulum or use it to intuit energy. This is, let's see if I can do this without disturbing the sound. I did turn off everything else to help enhance the sound. But I have got a pendulum workshop coming up, basic pendulum, and it is on my website at toolsofenergyprotection.com. It will also be at the bookstore in Lakewood at For Heaven's Sakes, and it is going to be August 13th. So if your desired outcome is to get in that class, jump in there quick, because again, we've limited it to try to keep everybody safe. And in that class, I will teach you how to have clear, concise answers. And I know so many people on the internet are teaching how to use the pendulum, and so you just go watch a free YouTube video and you're like, okay, I got it. And that's fine. But a lot of people don't always get correct answers, and there's reasons for that. And so I would like to show you, if you're having problems with that, why you're having problems with that and how you can fix it. And if you've never used a pendulum in your life, it's used to intuit, it's used to divine. And you can get basic yes and no answers. You can actually go to the grocery store and use it to pick out the sweetest fruit if you're after a watermelon that's sweet, or something that's ripe enough for you to eat it, or it hasn't been raised with chemicals, or whatever you're looking for. It's a beautiful way to know the truth, and the truth, of course, will set you free. So if you're interested in that, let me know. And now I'm going to do some of the cards. If you have any questions about what I talked about tonight, I did answer them. The shift is happening. Our shift happens. Our first level is done. That was turning our inner compass in the right direction. We did that a couple of years ago. Then we began to get things out of our lives that we didn't desire any longer. How many of you women have noticed that even though it's summer, you're spring cleaning like crazy? I know I've had a drive to do nothing but just clean out my house, get rid of stuff. It's kind of funny. But that's the energies. And, sorry, they're telling me something. One moment. Oh, yes, they want me to remind you. So, this month, and until probably about the 15th, roughly, of August, I'm still going to be doing the inner circle as we have been, which is where we were meeting once a week, and we were talking about, how to strengthen your energy and the Schumann's frequencies and all that kind of stuff. But my guides have been telling me that's not enough, and I have to up-level what I'm doing, up-level my game. So I will be sending out, I'm working on getting all these things pulled together. But my guides told me that you all would like to have some actual physical tools to help you with your energy field, to stay grounded. Maybe have a worry stone that you could hold to feel better, or, something that would help you to clear your space, just, something tangible to hold. Because I tend to work with etheric energies and chakras and things people can't see. And what I'm being told is people like to have something to hold on to look at, to feel, to be at one with. And so I'm creating these boxes full of yummy things. And as soon as I discover what's going to be in them, I will put that on toolsofenergyprotection.com and let you know how to order them. And they will go out once a month so that you'll have them. And then I will create a video discussing what's in the box. And I'm debating on having an additional video where you can come and ask Q&A. So I'm still kind of formulating that out. If you have an opinion, let me know, either here or private message me. But the idea is we're going to still talk about Schumann's frequencies and how that affects your magnetics of your own body. And in addition, every month you'll get a nice little kit to help you, things to work with. All right. Well, looks like I got a heart on that. So thank you. All right, let's move right along. Oh, got another couple hearts. Okay. So for those of you that are just tuning in or re-tuning in, I wanted to let you know that the first video I attempted to make tonight for the live at 6, because I told you all I was getting on at 6, and I do, we couldn't hear the audio. And so I don't know why. It could have been human error, could have been the dark side, who knows, could have been an entity, I don't know. So I did get the audio back, and if you did not hear about shift happening and the new state of things happening and what's coming, then please replay this video. And I don't feel like I talked about what's coming enough, but what's coming is a time when you've got to tune into your own heart, your own divinity, your own, spiritual mind to know what is real and what isn't real based on what you're seeing. And then once you know that, your ability to move forward. So we're allowing people that no longer belong in our energy fields to disconnect themselves. We're allowing people that want to walk next to us, but not necessarily drain our energy, to walk in their own space and time. And the next level is for you to make sure that you know how to tune in to the creator source of all, to God, Spirit, or Source. And you have that firm footing. That if you're told to do it, you'll do it. Because there's a lot of testing going on with guides talking to their peoples. And if the peoples aren't listening, it's real subtle. And if the peoples aren't listening, they won't do it. So when the time comes that there's an emergency, like they're talking about, Moses. Noah had that too. But Moses was told to take the people and go. And when time came to go, there was no time to pick up more stuff. You just had to go. And that time is coming quickly for us. And I don't mean physically leaving your homes, although that may happen. But it's about something as simple as I talked about on my last video, which I haven't released yet, where, I was told to go and get some water from a store when it was supposedly sold out. And when I got there, I told my guides it's sold out, and they said bend over, look on the bottom shelf, and sure enough, there was the last bit of water. And so I got it. Did I need it? No. But they now know that I'm going to trust them and ask questions when I get there. What's the next step? And that's what the next level is. So begin to hear, feel, sense, whatever you do, and trust what you're being told. If it's not going to hurt you, it's not your ego. That's your guidance. And you might hear your own voice in your own head. You might just have a strong sense of urgency, like yesterday evening. I had a strong sense of urgency to go to a particular place. And I was like, no, I don't want to go there. I don't want to get into that. I'm good. I'm really okay. But the urgency to go was so strong and compelling that against what my conscious mind and my logic said to do, I followed my gut instinct. And after I got there, I saw why. It was made very plain to me what the situation was. Not that I didn't know already, but it was made very plain. And so now, going forward, I can make some choices based on what was revealed to me in my own life. And maybe I wouldn't have made those choices as quickly. Maybe I wouldn't have ever made those choices and got off dead center, and maybe I would have regretted it. Who knows? But follow your instinct. Follow the voice in your head, as long as it's not telling you to hurt yourself. Please don't do that. But your voice, that's the one that I'm asking you to listen to, will tell you things that are good for you and things that won't hurt you. And it'll start itty bitty and it'll get bigger. So if you hear a voice in your head that says to hurt yourself or someone else, that's not the right voice. You got to get rid of that one. But if a voice says, hey, get up and go over here, and it's so urgent, don't suppress it, don't push it away, go. As long as you're not going to hurt yourself or someone else in doing it. Okay, I've repeated myself enough times. I'm going to move on. Okay. So I was asked to give you a couple of, excuse me, different things since what we talked about was so heavy. It's a heavy subject knowing that more stuff is coming, and no, we're not going back to the way things were. No, we're not going back to normal. No, we're not going back to pre-COVID. We're going forward. And we will be supported and loved as long as we allow it. Okay? All right. If you have any questions about those things, about shift happening in the new state of things, post them down below as fast as you can, and I will answer them. In the meantime, I was asked to share with you a message a little bit different than we normally do. And this message is pray always. Pray always. So prayer always means to be in continual connection with the divine. The word pray is kind of titchy because people be, oh, do I have to prostrate myself, get down on my knees and, do my hands a certain way? Do I have to go to church? Do I have to get on a mat? Whatever way it is people normally pray. Prayer is a conversation with God, Spirit, Source. That's what it is. It's a conversation. And to have that conversation going on continually in your mind is a wonderful thing if you can do it. I have to practice because if I'm in the middle of writing something or getting ready to come on live, I'm not really thinking continuously a conversation with God, Spirit, or Source. But that's what prayer is. Continually, without ceasing, because that's the connection. And recently, some of us have been more attuned to our high-pitched whine in our ears. And yes, I'm going to get that class out rolling. First, I had to get the Stones class coming up this Friday. Then the dowsing class coming up in the August. And now it's time for the high-pitched whine. So yes, I am getting these things done. Human body just moves a little slower. So, they're talking to me again. The guides are talking to me again. So they're telling me that this new level is a new heartbeat for everybody. To breathe in and out. A new heartbeat. A new way of being. A new way of clarity. And if you desire to change, and like say the last 3 or 4 years you just haven't been able to, maybe there's a habit you can't quit, maybe you're addicted to worrying all the time, I don't know what it might be, or numbing out, it's possible now for you to let that go. You might have to get some 3D world counseling, you might need a clearing session, I can help you with that. But it is possible for you to take small steps forward and change a lot faster than things used to be. So one of the changes I made was checking my alkaline in my body, my pH in my body every day. And I put a little sticky pad on the refrigerator, and I just marked it every time I did it, a day in a row. So if I did it 5 days in a row, I didn't do it the 6th day. I took the sticky down, threw it away, and started again. So the ideal outcome was to do it continuously 30 days in a row, and I did. And now it's 60. And you can make those changes so easily. Whatever it takes, okay? Excuse me. And I brought a decent cup tonight. Okay. I get one question. Are little kids' behaviors being affected by these changes? If so, how can we support them better? Great question. Yes. Little kids are more sensitive. They're being born into this time. There's a reason for them being here. Um, the only thing that I've been able to do with my own is to understand her more, to understand what she's experiencing or feeling and how she's feeling it, and help her the best I can to do that within the world that she currently lives in. That's all I have right now. I don't have anything else, but yes, it does affect them because they're newly sold in a physical body and they chose to be here during this time. So the basics at our house is you have to know how to read, write, do math, and think. That's it. That's the basics at our house, in whatever way that translates for your children. All right. So for those of you just tuning in, I'm going to do a quick reading with the cards. And if you didn't catch the beginning of this, now that you can actually hear me, then just cycle back through for the recording. For those of you watching the recording or on YouTube, if you did enjoy this, please let me know in the comments below if you have a question and I will respond to you. And share it with a friend. You know, there's share buttons on every platform if you liked it and if people are having challenges in their life right now. I know this is more of a little somber subject, but you know, you got to know stuff's coming and how to access it and how to know and how to be safe. All right, so the guides are telling me that relationships with others, which I talked about earlier, is a huge part of our transformation to the next level. How we release them, how we handle them. There may be somebody that's been in your life in the past that you need to check back with to make sure that you understand how to relate to them. Where do they fit in your life? How do they fit in your life? Do they fit in your life? But like I said, you will know. If you spend a little time with them, you will know. And that's coming up in many different ways, many different kinds of relationships. If it's a human, it's a relationship. All right, so they told me that this is the message for people that are in relationship. It says, take care of little things. So the river of God has plenty of water. It provides a bountiful harvest of grain, for you have ordered it so. What does that mean? Well, if you ask, things will be given to you. Ask and it is given. Knock and the door is open. Seek and you will find. And that's what I've done recently. I've knocked on a door and I'm asking, is this the way for me to go? And I will be shown one way or the other. I have no doubt. I have no fear. I will be shown because I've knocked on the door. It says take care of little things. So I'm getting ready to offer these packages with tools in them, physical tools for energy protection. And I've got to take care of all the little jots and tittles of how to get it to you, how to ship it, how to track it, make sure you get it. You know, what do I offer with it? Those are little details. And if I take care of those little things, my guides tell me people will buy them. And not just a few, but a bunch. Might have to hire some packing help. So whatever it is in your life, take care of the little things. All right, the next one. Oh, okay, the next one is right here on top. It says use loving strength and discernment. I am not trying to win the approval of people but God. If pleasing people were my goal, I would not be Christ's servant. And that's Galatians 1 verse 10 for those of you that want to look it up. So that is so true right now. Oh, you want to see? Okay, so here it is. Oops. Reflection going there. So loving strength and discernment. Remember I told you these people that are plugged into you and you won't be able to get to the next level if they're draining your energy in any manner, way, shape, or form? They will unplug themselves. And you don't have to be concerned about it. But when that happens, be ready for it, be thankful for it, and move forward or move up. They can still walk by your side. Doesn't mean you have to disappear out of your life. Doesn't mean you have to go no contact. It just means the relationship will be different and there will be boundaries set by you to fill in that space. So that's the consciousness that we're plugged into. Okay, next one. I love these things. Here's the last one for tonight. It says, walk away from illusions and towards truth. Show me the right path, O Lord. Point out the road for me to follow. Psalms 25, verse 4. When I teach the dowsing classes, when I teach them to you, it is a physical tool that you can see. Do you remember that when Moses led the people, he had a rod and he had a staff? In fact, go look up the word rod and the word staff in the original text. So you can go back and get a concordance, or you probably find one online, and look at the root words. And you can figure out that one of them was a physical instrument, because back in those days you didn't know who friend or foe was, so you usually carried one to defend yourself. And then the other one was to guide you. It was a dowsing rod. It was used to feel energies. It was a physical manifestation of being able to see energy. Moses. Okay? So in the New Testament, when Jesus' disciples got ready to go out and preach, talk to people, spread the light, they said, Lord, tell us what we should take with us. And he said, nothing except for your staff. And the staff in the Old Testament was what was used for divining, for finding where the energies were, what was going on, so that they would know. It's an interesting study if you would like to do it. But I'm going to recap, and then that's it. Hopefully the people that were watching the live early and couldn't hear will catch the replay, and maybe they just gave up, I don't know. But do take care of the little things in your life. Stay going forward. Use loving strength and discernment. You know, what is good for you in your world right now and what isn't. And if you're not sure, then have the courage to go forward and check it out. Have the courage to go forward and check it out, so that you can get more information about something and then decide, yeah, right? So stop worrying and start walking your feet. And then walk away from the illusions and towards truth. So if there's something in your life that's wonderful and makes you feel good and you're like, yes, this is, I'm going to keep rocking it, this way, stop for a moment and ask yourself, is it an illusion to keep you over here with a shiny object so that you're not on your path? Is it an illusion? I'd rather say, is it something you've been numbing out with for years? Because we all have ways we numb out. Some of us eat, some of us use drugs, and some of us, whatever you use to numb out, Netflix. And there's a process that we go through. And so my question to you is, what have you been using? I personally know somebody who worries all the time, and that's their addiction. That's how they get out of having to deal with everyday life, because they just worry about stuff all the time. If you take worry from that person, if you say, here, I'm taking this from you, they freak out. But that's the illusion. Anything that keeps you from being narrow is the way on the path to the truth, to the light, to the love is an illusion. And there's lots of them. Get ready. Because here they come. More than just the one you've had. So it looks like I don't have any more questions. I will be back, ready, willing, and able, at 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Use Time Buddy if you need to figure it out. And make sure up here on Facebook that you click like or follow. I don't know, they've changed it so many times. And your notifications are on, so if you're at your laptop, it'll pop and go, bing, Deanna's gone live, or on your phone. And that way you'll know, because sometimes it does take me a few minutes to get set up. And if I come on and people can't see me or hear me, then I will close that and I will come right back again. So that's it. Thank you for sticking with me. Big hugs, loves, and kisses. If you're interested in the stone class, it is this Friday, so make sure you get yourself in. There are some spots left. toolsofenergyprotection.com. Click live events. All the information is there for everything that's going on this week and in the future. And the next thing I'm getting out is the high pitch wine class, so that'll be fun. My book is still in the process, finishing up chapter 1. The release date will be in September. Everything goes right. So anyways, love you all. Have a good night.